Hello everyone, I don't know if this is working correctly, but the step 1 is going to be peeling our potato, which my cameraman has wandered away. So you're going to go dark for a moment. It should be pretty easy to know how to peel a potato. You either take a knife or a potato peeler, and you peel the potato. Bro, could you grab the camera and point it at my hands? Ah, fuck, I forgot a knife. Now we have one peeled potato. Bro, can you get me a knife for a second? And while he gets me the knife, cutting just not a steak knife. Now just make sure you have your other things. The carrots, your seasonings, the broth, the noodles. And next we go to cutting up the potato. I'm going to need you still. You may have one tendy. I like to divide the larger ones in half before I start. Yeah, it's good, bro. Thank you for doing this. You'll be allowed some of the soup. Are they making comments? Ah. Top chat's fine. It's basically the same thing.
Well, there's only 3 people here, so.
Yes, potatoes. This may be a chicken noodle soup, but I like to add potatoes. There was a potato on the ingredient list. Brother, as much as I like to see the comments, please don't shove it directly in my face while I'm holding a knife. And cutting something. Next, obviously we move on to the broth, even though typically you start with the broth. Now, I know I listed 4 to 5 cups. However, it appears that is not what was left in this box. I was lied to by my own eyes and the weight. So another thing you can do to pad out the fact you may not have enough if you run into this issue is to simply just add the rest as water. If you do this, don't walk into your brother, and also you may want to add just a little bit more of the seasonings to flavor it. We were going to have to pad it out anyway, but this is just a bit more. Next, you come to the carrots. Now, typically I don't measure these, and I don't use the ends. Typically, you add as much as you have for chicken. I like to use fresh carrots, but this is all I have available. That's about 2 cups.
Oh dear.
And now we come to the chicken breast, which I did not thaw in at all like an idiot. So this thing is...
Rip headphone users.
It's also ice cold. So as one might expect, you can't really cut this.
I'm even.
So what usually you would do is you would cut this into the same size as the potatoes. But since it is both rock solid, I don't want to thaw it. And I'm crazy. Again, cut it. You should cut it. I'm not going to. And now we come to the seasonings.
Wait.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. First is the thyme leaves.
So you're gonna take out and cut it later, right?
Probably gonna take it out and cut it later. But what I'm doing right now is just letting it soak and thaw inside of there where it's likely to do it more. I'll fish it out maybe mid cooking and cut it. But that is just, I'm lazy. Now, thyme leaves, you want to be going with 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon. However, I just like doing this. Looks like enough. Actually, thank you for that idea, Matthew. That is a reasonable thing to do. Now, is it going to get some of the seasonings? Likely. Am I a professional cook? No. I only put one seasoning in there though, so save the carrots. Turn this on. And just add a little bit more thyme leaves for the ones that got away. Now, I don't have many rosemary left, and typically you put the same amount as the thyme leaves. That looks right. What happened to that leaf? That was just tiny. Give me a good leaf. said a good leaf. There. 3 leaves masquerading as 1. It's fine. Why am I touching the chicken? Because it's rock solid. It'll be fine. Next we come to the lemon pepper. Which, this is definitely 1/8 of a teaspoon type of thing you add. Or less. You don't want much in there. Celery salt is because I have absolutely no celery. And I put about 1/4 of a teaspoon in here. I don't know, that's 1/4 of a teaspoon, that's just as much as I put in. Yeah, I'm holding the camera now. The cameraman wandered the fuck off. Next is the garlic powder. Now this I put usually 1/2 tablespoon in, or somewhat. Like, I like this flavoring, okay? Sue me. And then the onion powder is an equal amount as the garlic, sometimes a little more. This thing's fucking empty, okay. That's still sealed. Give me a second, it's not one of those easy to pull open things. All that work for that extra little spritz. Now with that, I usually don't actually mix it. Because it's going to be boiling, so it's going to mix itself. This is going to be boiling for 2 to 3 hours. So that's going to mix itself just by boiling and with gravity. I'm a dumbass. I mean, it wasn't that hot. That was like really hot hand washing water, I guess. I'm just trying to cool it down with that. Alright. It's cool enough to handle. That was the important thing of that little wash. I just didn't want it to be boiling hot chicken. That's a terrible idea up next to boiling water. You don't touch boiling water, you don't touch boiling hot chicken. I cooled it off a little, it's good. Now, I obviously can't one-handed cut the chicken, and cameraman's off in the living room. Hey, yo, bro!
What? Oh.
And after handling raw chicken, this is raw thawed chicken, then I am going to rinse and wash my hands. Because the chicken isn't dangerous until you can get chicken liquid on you. That's what causes all the issues. Would be the chicken liquid, that being the blood, that being just the juices. That's what causes all your illnesses and issues. Handling frozen chicken, even the water can cause issues. If you hang on to that sucker, the water will cause issues. But if you just handle it super quick, it won't.
Yeah, we have a bandsaw. We could have.
We're not using a bandsaw on a chicken.
It was actually invented to cut meat.
I'm assuming frozen deer and turkey. And pig. And, cow. Not chicken.
It worked.
We're not using the bandsaw.
Good, because I think it's buried behind the things anyway.
I try to cut these potato size or smaller. I did not clean the chicken to remove fat, and that is because we want the fat to flavor the soup. If I were, say, baking, frying, or anything else with this chicken, I would indeed have cleaned it of fat. If you're trying to go for a low-fat diet, then you are welcome to clean the chicken. That is simply, probably don't boil it because then it's harder to find the fat, but that is simply cutting off all the white from the pink.
Hang on.
Where are you going? There was a reason I didn't have the light on. He's trying to sleep up there.
Why are people saying that your knife isn't sharp enough?
Probably because I'm sawing, brother. And they're right. We haven't sharpened these in a while. No one maintains shit around here. That carpet is still wet from coming from all that water. And it's been like 2 days. Fucker's gonna mold. Someone needs to dry that shit off more.
The thing is, it's in the actual padding, so I don't know if it's...
If you throw enough weight onto a towel, it will work.
Not necessarily.
You could also throw the space heater on it.
I suppose that would work.
And then keep a watch on it to make sure it doesn't catch fire.
There'd be too much water.
Near the end of the drying process, there would be less water.
I'll get you a sharper knife.
I'm not using the giant butcher knife. And do you even know if that thing's sharp? Brother, no. That's for bone cutting.
That's the chef's knife. This is the butcher one.
Oh yeah, oh fuck. I don't think we've sharpened that one in ages.
I don't think we sharpened the butcher's knife at all. But the thing is, with the chef's knife, we never use it, so.
I remember the first time I made chicken noodle soup, I was so just desperate to get at the chicken that I put it in water to thaw it. And then I just started clawing at that shit. My chicken ended up really shredded, and that was because I was just clawing it to pieces. I wasn't even cutting that crap. I will just dig in there with my...
How sharp do you think this is?
Do you mind? That is not even kitchen safety. Second of all, that is my wrist.
Not kitchen safety?
Brother, stop petting the knife.
I mean...
My fingers are starting to go numb on this hand. Do I need a sharper knife? Yes. Is this good exercise? Also yes.
Wait. Isn't this also a chicken knife?
That is a chicken knife. I'm not even sure if that one's sharp though. To be fair, I'm using a paring knife. This is for apples.
Ah, it feels sharp. Ish.
Fine.
Sharper than that.
This still is just coming down to my strength and the fact the chicken is still somewhat frozen.
Yeah. That is sharper, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. Welcome to Azza. I'm not the best cook, but I am a cook.
Let's see here. This one.
We're not getting multiple knives dirty. My limit is 2. And we've hit the limit of 2.
That one's not very sharp either. Look at this one. Not really. That's bread knife. This one might be sharper, but I have no idea. Wait. We actually use these?
Put them back. We'll use them another time.
That doesn't feel that
My
bad.
limit is 2 dirty knives.
That one's not that bad. Oh, that one's not bad either. The thing is, this is the same set, I believe.
Yeah, it is all the same set.
So, it's not that. Those are definitely sharp. Yes, he's trying to sleep, but I've done this. I've had the light on.
That doesn't mean it's not a dick move.
He's left it on. I think. Plus, this is going straight down, and that one's. The other one in the front of the stove is worse, actually, I think. Worse to say over the stove. How much longer do you think this is going to be? Another hour?
No, I'm not going to film the entire boiling.
Half an hour?
Brother, I'm almost done.
So you're just going to be put all the stuff in the pot? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, and measure out the noodles just to let you guys know how many noodles you're going to need.
I think you're definitely like, your thought process is different than mine. Why am I thinking of, how would this be if we were to, like, cook it in a nuclear reactor? What?
Well, you'd be able to pull it out with your 3 arms.
No. That wouldn't happen. It would be done in about a millisecond, though. Okay, that actually wouldn't probably be about a millisecond. It might be that exactly 1 millisecond. No, it sounds like a bad idea. Somebody just mentioned that on my on the stream.
What?
They could, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually a bad idea. Because it's basically complete overkill. On so many levels. Because it's like...
I'm adding it little by little to not splash.
Because this is this will be like 100 degrees C. And, reactors go at like 3,000. So... I mean, you dip it in and it'll be done. And burned at the same time.
Now, some of it did escape.
Because it would flash burn it.
So before I turn on the heat...
On the outside. And on the inside, I mean, it probably wouldn't be raw for very long because you just have so much heat on the outside that since water is a very good heat conductor, but it might take a little bit, but
Now this, you're going to set onto the lowest heat you can.
Yeah, if we set that any lower, it goes out. Don't ask me. Why?
Now typically, if you want it quick, you can go for 2 hours, but you have to minus the amount of time it's going to take for your noodles, i.e. 11 minutes. You can also go for 2:30 or even 3 hours. But again, you have to measure out your noodle time. I'm going for speed. And my noodles cook in 8 minutes. So then you're going to have to add another 3 minutes to whatever the noodle cooking time is. And that is your time. Now for the noodles, just to measure this out quickly.
1 second. We're now underneath the other light, so it's not a big deal. Oh, believe me. They said it looks small when I blew.
Typically, you go for 1 cup,
They say
but
you
I
look
go
small.
for an extra half.
They say that you look small when I have the camera, but I'm like, I'm small too.
He's below 5.5 feet.
I mean,
So I always add an extra half.
I guess good. I don't know if you'd be cooking the chicken or just steaming it at that point. Why are we continuing to talk about cooking a chicken in a nuclear reactor? Oh wait, that was me. Yeah. Well, you might be able to suspend it because there's a large area where there's a bunch of steam, but even the steam is like thousands of degrees, and at that point.
And with all that, I will be seeing you in this long. This is how long my next stream is going to be, just playing games.
So,
Orochi, do not suggest and do not encourage. Now, I'm going to get these in the trash, clean up, and then pop up back upstairs on the computer.
the thing is that I also.
So I'll see you all in about 5 minutes.